What is reality? How do we know that what we're looking at is what it is? Do multiple realities exist at once? Some of you out there may have heard of Schrodinger's cat, where Schrodinger proposed you put a cat in a box. You can't see inside the box, so until you open that box, the cat is both alive and dead at the same time because you don't know whether it is or it isn't. That was a theory for a while. Scientists now have actually come up with an experiment to see two different realities at the same time. This article I found and I presented to Benson, and that's this week's episode. What is reality? He had an interesting reaction, and it's only a very short podcast, however, definitely worthy of putting out there. I'm going to put a bit of a reflection on the end, so I'll shut up. Obviously, thanks to Rowdy and Craig for the awesome music and the intro. Again, Rowdy Strum Music on Facebook and Craig Johnston Music on Facebook. Look us up on Instagram, Unlocking the Code. Our Facebook page is also Unlocking the Code. And if you want, shoot us an email at unlockingthecode9@gmail.com. Thanks very much, guys. Lots of awesome conversations coming up. Really appreciate your time, and we'll talk soon. Cheers.
Well, I
Mate, how are you?
Good, pal.
Your first snippet. I've got an article for you, mate. So this is the new type of podcast we're doing. I'm just throwing articles at people, okay?
Cool.
And I picked this one just for you. Quantum experiment sees two versions of reality existing at the same time.
Look out.
You see why I picked this one for you? We all know that our understanding of reality is pretty biased. Our senses, our cultures, and our knowledge shape how we see the world. And if you think that science will always give you an objective reality, you might want to reconsider. Physicists have finally been able to test a thought experiment first proposed in 1961 by Nobel Prize winner Eugen Wigner. The experiment is known as Wigner's friend, and the setup is not too complicated. You start with a quantum system that has two states in superposition, which means that until you measure it, both states exist at the same time. For example, a photon's polarization, the axis that it spins on, is both horizontal and vertical. Wagner's friend is in the lab performing the experiment, and once they measure it, the system will collapse and the photon will be fixed in one of those two states. But Wigner, who is outside the lab, unaware of the result of the measurement, the quantum system, which importantly also includes the lab, is still in superposition. Despite contradictory results, they are both correct. Similar to Schrodinger's cat, right?
Yeah, okay.
Cat's in the box, it's dead or alive. Well, you've actually got to consider it both. Okay.
Yep.
So up until now, it's pretty much been theory. They've never been able to do it. Recent breakthroughs, researchers were able to construct a quantum mechanics experiment that would reproduce exactly that. The system has 4 entangled observers and a state-of-the-art 6-photon experiment, and they showed that while one part of the system produced a measurement, the other showed that the measurement had not been done. 2 realities were measured at once. The team argues that this strengthens the case of quantum theories whose framework is already observer-dependent. There you go.
Righto.
What are your thoughts?
It's a toughie. It's difficult to... I don't know. You've really thrown me...
I know, and that's the beauty of a snippet.
Thrown me in front of the bus here.
That's the reason behind these. So basically, science has now proven that 2 realities can exist at the same time. So does that mean they've proven interdimensional realities? Who knows?
I don't know. A fair bit of skepticism running through my mind at the moment. Only based on the fact that this is the first I've heard of it.
Yep.
So it's this sort of stuff that I would like to investigate more, to have more knowledge of it so that I could have a response. It's more one of, yeah.
So that's come from the MIT Technology Review.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not, Bob's Gazette.
Yeah, righto.
They're conducting these experiments properly.
Yeah.
So this calls into question the objective status of the facts established by the 2 observers, the scientists write in their paper, which is yet to be peer-reviewed but is available to read on ARXIV, whatever that is. Can one reconcile the different records, or are they fundamentally incompatible so they cannot be considered objective, observer-independent facts of the world?
Righto.
While science is the best tool we have to understand reality, the effects and limitations of the observers have been known for a long time. Relativity has shown that observers may not experience simultaneous events at the same time. Quantum mechanics tells us that observers influence their experiments. That's what we just discussed at the end of the last podcast.
Yeah.
With sacred geometry, right? We don't identify the shape until we actually see it.
Yeah.
And we don't know until we see it, right?
Yeah.
Now it appears that, at least at the quantum level, 2 different realities can be both real at once.
Yeah.
And that's it, man.
Wow. If that's the case, that's one of the most important findings that has happened in recent times.
Exactly.
Or potentially ever.
And it's them in the back blocks of Facebook that I found that.
Yeah.
And I think that, do you know what? That's the reason I'm doing these snippets, mate, is because I synthesize so much data and I synthesize so many different strings of thought. Like, that's a massive article, man.
Yeah, dude.
And you're one of those people that would be interested in that article, and you had no idea about it, so I just told you right then.
Yeah. Yeah, even with as much sifting and
surfing and
surfing that I do.
Exactly.
That has not popped up as of yet.
Yeah. So theoretically, and as I say, come from MIT technology. The paper hasn't been peer reviewed yet.
Yeah.
However, they've confirmed that something can exist and both not exist at the same time, and that their different realities can exist at the same time.
Yeah.
I sort of stumped you. I thought you'd actually have a bit more to say. But
Yeah, I wish I did. It's wow.
And you know what? Is it bad that it excites me that I've stumped you and I'm still going to use this snippet because it stumped you?
Mate, go for it, because this is what it's all about, isn't it?
It is exactly what it's all about.
Man, yeah, you've really spun my top. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I chose that for you.
And you've been sitting on that this whole fucking time.
I have, man.
Yeah.
For each guest that comes in, I'm going to have their own snippet based on who they are.
Little tailor-made thing.
Yeah, and I knew that it'd spin you out.
Yeah, mate. I've got to drive home after this. Like, I'm not going to be able to think about anything.
Am I driving the car or am I not driving the car?
I am doing both at the same time.
Exactly, you are.
Dude, that's fucked me up. Wow.
Yeah.
I hope it's real.
Yeah.
Because if that's real, that changes everything.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely everything.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so if you were with a friend and you would have had this happen before, I know Angus and I had it with the echidna. We're driving home one night. He came with me to Bunnings. We picked up a shelf and brought it home.
Mm-hmm.
On the Warrego Highway, I swear I saw an echidna. He says he didn't. I'll go to my grave saying I saw that echidna.
Yeah.
He'll go to his saying that he didn't.
Yeah.
Quantum mechanics just proved that we're both right.
Yeah.
Both things exist.
Shit. That's all I've got.
You got nothing.
That's it.
That's wow. I'm definitely, as I say, I'm going to have to cut a bit of silence out of this. So those that have heard this, there was a lot more silent pauses than is what is in here now.
However, and a bit of swearing on my end. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm doing now? Like,
you're going down the rabbit hole,
dude. I'm going to be knee deep in this.
Yeah. So there's a couple of different things that it said in the article. It's proof that the observer affects the outcome.
Mm.
However, according to that, they measured it in affecting and not affecting.
Yeah.
Crazy shit, man.
That is crazy. Again,
And like we said in the podcast before, the line between science and magic is blurring.
Indeed.
Because
Indeed it is.
A magician or a true magician can alter your reality.
Yeah.
Science is now proving that you can alter.
This
reality.
is something that I was going to bring up in the podcast as well. About the whole magician thing. And
Well, what have you got to say about magicians? This is what we're talking about, magic now, man. What do you think that it's real or?
No,
Because quantum mechanics is practically magic, realistically.
There is elements to
Backed by
magic
numbers.
where you can see it and go, fuck me, is this really happening?
Yeah.
Did this guy make a deal with someone and gain the gift to teleport things or... Yeah.
Well, yeah, street magicians and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, like there's the Dynamo and all that sort of guy. Like some of those guys are unbelievable, man. I don't understand how they did what they do. I don't know.
There's actually a reveal show that shows how Dynamo did all the things that he's done. And
Oh, really?
yeah, dude. Just Google it, I guess. You'd be able to... Yeah. It's just highly orchestrated illusions. That's all it comes down to.
Sleight of hand.
The way that they do it, you just go, how?
Yeah.
How do you do it? It's ridiculous. I don't know. And they're masters of distraction.
Yes.
As well. It's the whole look over here while I do this.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude.
However, guess what?
Mm.
Now they can do it in two realities, theoretically.
Fuck, man. Does that mean I walk into a different reality when I walk out of this door?
That's a good question. I definitely think it's a different reality inside this room. This room has its energy all of its own.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it, man. Snip it over. Have you got anything else? I can't believe...
Mate, I'm off in another world already.
Yeah.
In my mind,
Good luck. I think one of the first things I said to you when we first became mates is that whatever rabbit holes I send you down, I hold no responsibility for what happens to you down those rabbit holes.
I'm going to turn into fucking Jim Carrey out of the number 23. Like, Yeah. You're going to have to explain to my wife what's happened.
Oh, it'll be all right. You'll be fine, mate. Oh, man, thanks very much.
Thanks for having me, pal.
All right, mate. Talk soon.
Bye.
Cheers. Reflection time. Haven't done one of these in a little while. However, I'll do them again from time to time, and I think this one was an appropriate one to do a reflection on. I want to firstly thank Benson for letting me put that out. I didn't expect to spin his top like the way I did. However, that's what happened, and it was awesome just to play it out. And that is one of the things I love about podcasting, is the natural and dynamic conversations that you can have and the things that can happen. You never know where the rabbit hole is going to lead you when you start a podcast. You may start out with an idea and you won't go anywhere near that idea, or that idea may morph and change and grow, and that's what it's about. You know, this podcast is called Unlocking the Code. We follow where the rabbit hole leads us, and wherever that is always very interesting. The fact that they've proved that there is multiple realities, or not proved, they've had an experiment done where they've seen two different realities existing at once, is such a fascinating topic, and maybe leads into interdimensional stuff, or the fact that what is reality? It's just a construct. You know, everything that we affect, the observer affects what they see. So if that's the case, is everything you're seeing, are you affecting that? You know what, if we sit side by side and look at the same thing, are we actually seeing the same thing? It's an interesting concept, and I think not a proven reality. However, they're beginning to prove that multiple realities exist. That doesn't really come as a surprise to me, and that's not because I really know anything about it. As I say, I profess to know nothing. However, just the idea of it makes sense to me, because everything exists. You know, there's so many things that we don't see, and the universe is infinite. So in an infinite universe, there's infinite possibilities. The fact that multiple realities could exist at once makes sense to me, you know. And if you think about it, like you make I think 60-odd thousand decisions a day, every single decision changes your reality a little bit. However, there's obviously somewhere there where if you make a different decision or not make a decision, the reality changes. So at the point of that decision making, both realities exist at once, or many realities exist at once, if you actually think about it. It's fascinating. And look, as I say, thanks to Benson, you know, it was very cool to share that article with him, and thanks for him letting me to put it out, even though he sort of spun his mind a little bit. However, I know that it made him question a lot more things, and it should make you guys question a lot more things, because what is reality? No one really knows. The reality is up to the observer. You perceive your reality, so you make it what it is. So therefore, you can change your reality if that's what you choose to do. Because multiple versions of the different paths that you can take in life all exist at the same time. You have some semblance of control about how you deal with your reality. And it would pay to remember that. And just how cool is it that science is getting to the point where they can show us these types of things, and it comes out, you know, and we can actually interpret it for what it's worth. That'll be about it for me, guys. Thanks very much. Enjoy Plain Lady Jane. Not too sure what I put on the start of this one. I'll decide that after this, or I'll put Plain Lady Jane on the end. That's a very cool song, and just something a bit different from the songs we've had lately. As I say, thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it, and we'll talk soon. Cheers. 1, 2